Eric Cartman, one of the most despicable, conniving, and entertaining characters I've ever encountered. Like, what won't this guy do? Let's be really honest, man. This guy pretended to be mentally handicapped. He killed and fed Scott Tenorman's parents to him. Like, this guy slapped his mom. Like, Cartman's off the hook, right? But let's look at what's really going on back there. Because he isn't just selfish. This is something else. Like, Cartman is the embodiment of this malignant narcissism. This is a psychological cocktail of a narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial traits, Satanism, and a level of Machiavellian manipulation all in one little 10-year-old boy. And unlike your run-of-the-mill megalomaniac, he enjoys cruelty for his own sake, just for being cruel. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to make you suffer while he beats you. And we saw that time he flared up with Wendy. She had to really put the beat down on him after that. And this guy is classic, like the id unleashed. He operates almost entirely from that standpoint. Unrestrained desire, impulse, and appetite. Food, power, dominance, validation, these are all his fuels. He lacks both the superego, which is morality, and the ego, which is a rational balance. And this is what he looks like if you take the filter off of people and they just went wild. Think about, man, Scott Tenorman Must Die. He feeds a boy his own parents in Chile. This is way past dark humor. This is a masterclass in psychological, sociopathic revenge fantasies. He doesn't just retaliate, he orchestrates this soul-crushing, not just humiliation, but on a cosmic level. He puts him in his place, man. His brilliance lies in how his depravity is wrapped in this absurdity. So we laugh at something we really fear in real life. If Cartman was real, none of this would be funny, right? And that's the whole thing. Because underneath this sadism and bluster is actually this very fragile child drowning in, maternal indulgence. His mom has no breaks, and paternal absence. His mother, she never disciplines. Miss Cartman, Leanne, she never disciplines. She over nurtures to the point of pathology, feeding his delusions of grandeur and entitlement. My precious baby, mommy's little whatever fat man, she's good at that. And the lack of a stable father figure, I hate to say it, leaves him desperate to to assert control whatever he can find it, through manipulation, bullying, dominance, whatever. Authority, remember that? When he had authority? And then his racism and his bigotry, this is not just ideological, right? This is performative. He says offensive things because it gets a reaction. And the reactions make him feel. And again, he doesn't have any morality, so he could say it without feeling anything about it. And his greatest fear isn't hell, justice. It's simply being ignored. And we saw that happen to him. We saw when everybody started ignoring him how well that worked. And it was brilliantly done. And here's the thing, Cartman does reflect a lot about us. He is a walking shadow projection of this repressed, the ugly impulses of our collective consciousness, right? He represents unfiltered American ego. He's greedy, he's paranoid, he's self-righteous, he's self-justifying, and they use him as a mirror to show him all the bad stuff that we're manifesting. If we talk about what's going on right now and look at the episode at the water park with My Minorities, right? So he mirrors the later stages of capitalism, where empathy is weak and cruelty is currency. So he's the child of this consumer culture. He believes truthfully that everything and everyone is for sale, including morality. So he has no problem just switching code. He's whatever. But what makes him a paradox is that he's very self-aware but emotionally stunted. He knows he's a terrible person and he leans into it because it gives him purpose. He aligns himself with other kind of bad agents, like a Loki, who they express hypocrisy by being the worst than anyone. That's the whole thing. So the world kind of needs Cartman in the same way that we needed a devil, to remind us what happens when that shadow gets to run around unchecked and do whatever. And there's some irony in this, right? He often ends up being right a lot of times. His greed occasionally exposes hypocrisy in others. He's the perfect anti-mirror for reflecting our vices. He becomes this truth teller that nobody wants to hear. And he's the ultimate symbol of moral entropy. This is a collapse of empathy under ego, the triumph of appetite over conscience. He's not just a bad kid. He's what cultures and civilization, when cultures and civilization give up on maturing and growing up, they become Cartman. And you see it just manifested. All the crazy nonsensical stuff that he's done, like spitting in people's mouth, driving people crazy. He drove a lady crazy. I think a couple of those nannies, he drove them crazy. So Cartman, this is my first time even taking a glance at Cartman in this way. But man, it's a lot there. This is a deep character. If you got more that you want to add, I know you got some Cartman story, and you just go and drop it in the comment section, and we'll keep the ball rolling as we dig into Eric Cartman in more ways.